In this video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how to create profitable ads consistently, right? You're going to learn the secrets of hijacking attention and creating a message that actually attracts your ideal customers and clients. Now, the problem with paid ads is 80% of people, now this is a study, 80% of small businesses lose money with paid ads, right? And many more are actually probably losing money because they're confusing revenue with profit, right? Just because your ad is maybe a 2x ROAS doesn't actually mean you're profitable. Once you take out product costs, the paying your team, all kinds of different things, right? And then a lot of people deal with inconsistent performance. I know I've definitely dealt with it as well. Being an agency owner, helping small businesses grow, you can never rest on your wins for too long. Or really ever, right? Because you have to be able to maintain consistent performance, especially when you're increasing spend. The more that you're spending on your ads, when you're spending 500 to 1,000 a day, the quicker ads fatigue, because you reach your audience. The ads just life cycle just shortens, right? So the more you spend, the quicker you see ads fatiguing, and the more creative and the more output that you need to have now. So what you're going to learn by the end of this video, I'm going to show you the 3 pillars of ad success. Now, the first is hijacking attention. Now, this is one of the most important part, because if nobody pays attention to your ad, then you don't make any sales, right? So you're going to learn the 6 elements for creating a highly effective hook that make people pay attention, right? Next, you're going to know the marketing, the messaging that actually converts, right? You're going to get a method to target your ideal clients and prospects with paid ads. And the third thing you're going to know is how to create winning ads consistently. So if you're struggling with ad fatigue, I'll show you how to make winning ads your standard, right? And this is how precisely how we generated over $5 million in sales for our clients, right? And I've been in industries from e-commerce, digital products, coaching, and lead gen, which is what I'm mostly doing now with the digital products and coaching, right? So this framework works no matter what niche, what service or product you're selling, because it's all focused on human psychology. The only way I was able to actually market successfully for clients in various industries is simply because my principles and my foundations is based on human psychology, not any tactics that are here today are gone tomorrow. Now, I'm not going to put all my results here because it's going to be way too long, but you can see from this brand we have here, they were making less than 100, just around 100,000 a year when we started working together. Within a year and a half of working together, they scaled in e-com over to $1 million. This is another brand. This is a digital product. A digital product that we marketed from, literally took this offer from 0 to 100,000 in a month and a half, right? And this is just some results to actually have some credibility to what I'm about to share with you, because it's very, very powerful. And I'm sure once you master this, it's significantly going to increase your ads performance, right? So here's another one. So yeah. Let's go. So first, mastering the feed. In this video, I'm going to be focusing mostly on Facebook ads, because this is what the majority of is the king, basically. Facebook ads is the king of advertising. This is where the majority of the spend goes to. Then second will be Google. Then TikTok is emerging as well. But in this video, I'm going to be focusing on Facebook ads. But however, the same principles apply to running video ads on pretty much any platform that you're on. Now, pillar 1. We're going to go through how to hijack attention, right? So there's 6 key elements you can pull when it comes to video. And the first is the avatar, right? So who is it actually in your creative? The second is your text overlay, which is like the headline on the creative. The third is the scene, where you're actually shooting it. 4th is music, which sets the mood. 5 is the voiceover, which is your audio hook. And 6 is your editing. So especially the first 3 to 4 seconds, right? Now, I'm going to show you the autonomy of a winning ad. I'm going to show you how this is applied, right? So we're focusing mostly, I'm marketing now for service-based businesses and digital products and coaching, but you want to know where the best advertisers are? They're in e-com, right? Because these guys have to be good, because your margins are so small. When you're playing with, you have product costs, shipping costs, tariffs nowadays, right? They have to be very profitable at the ads. The people that are scaling e-com, when they're doing over $1 million, in a month, these guys are master marketers, right? They've got this down to a T. Now, even though the example I'm going to be using, you might not be in that exact same business, right? You need to model, you need to think about modeling the principles. We're modeling the principles of what they're doing, not their exact ad. So this example will still apply to you, okay? So there's this ad over here for 47 Skin. I'm going to break down exactly how they applied these 6 principles in just the beginning first 3 to 4 seconds of their ad, okay?
How 47 Skin helped me rediscover skin confidence. Growing up, I was... How 47 Skin...
Okay, so let me set the speed. Everything I do is on 2, is on 0.2, right? So we're gonna set the speed over here. And we're gonna...
How 47 Skin helped me rediscover skin confidence.
Right. So the first is the avatar. They're using someone who fits their target audience, a woman with acne, right? The next thing is the text overlay. It says before 47 Skin. Now the reason why this is important is that it connotes, it suggests that there's going to be a story, that there's going to be an after, right? Which hooks people in and sparks their curiosity of what it would look like after, right? Next thing is the scene. She's in her bedroom, just in a it looks like a bedroom anyway, somewhere just inside the house, right here, which is where people are going to be using these products, okay? The next thing is let's check over here, seeing the music. Now the music in the background is really is also important as well. So if you want to go in here,
How 47 Skin helped me rediscover skin confidence.
So if you pay attention,
How 47 Skin,
you pay attention to the music.
How 47 Skin helped me rediscover
Let me
skin
just
confidence.
change
Growing up, I was a confident
that.
child with many dreams, but as a teenager... How 47 Skin helped me rediscover skin confidence.
So it's like it builds, the music builds anticipation, right? If you hear it again,
How 47 Skin helped me rediscover
then
skin
drops,
confidence.
right?
How
Builds
47 Skin helped me rediscover skin
It
confidence.
drops. So it builds an anticipation, right? So this is really good, and as piano music is pleasing to hear, right? But the music also plays an effect into the mood as well. It builds anticipation to where she drops the after, right? The next is the audio hook. So what she actually verbally says. Now this is what most people focus on, but they don't actually focus on these other 6 elements that play such a massive difference, right? So the audio hook is,
How 47 Skin helped me rediscover skin confidence.
how 47 Skin helped me rediscover skin confidence. Now, why is that audio hook powerful? Well, the reason why that audio hook is powerful is, again, it alludes to a story, right? It's a story. It sparks curiosity, which hooks people in that want so they pay attention and they keep listening and watching the ad, right? And then the next is the editing in the first 3 to 5 seconds, right? So pay attention to this.
How 47
1,
Skin helped me
2,
rediscover skin.
3. In 3 seconds, they have 3 separate cuts of different scenes, right? The editing is you should have fast editing at the beginning, right? Because there's novelty, right? In the different scenes and the different things that they're using, and it gets people to pay attention more into the ad, right? And another thing is they use emotion really well with this ad, right? So you can see her looking at her acne. First is a close-up of her face, right? It's a close-up of her face, almost like she's like on FaceTime. That helps grab attention because, you know, people pay attention to, there's a guillotine principle that people pay attention to people's faces. So if you ever seen like, you know, if you're out and you're seeing models wearing clothes and stuff, they usually have, let's say if it's makeup or anything like that, they usually have a close-up of the person's face and they're looking directly at you as well because it captures attention. So you have a close-up of her face like she's on FaceTime, so it feels personal, right? And she looks kind of displeased, she looks like she's looking at her acne, right? She was recording a video looking at her acne. She doesn't really look emotionally that, you know, she doesn't look that happy right here.
47 Skin helped me.
The next one is her crying about her skin condition, pretty much. And that's what you connote. Doesn't say her skin condition specifically, but that's what you assume, right? So it goes from her being displeased,
How 47 Skin helped me.
her crying, right? Look how deep it is really tapping in onto the emotions of people, right? And then in the payoff, where you see the after, whereas with 47 Skin, you can see her with clear skin, looking happy, pouting at the camera. So we have three different emotions, three different scenes, and three clear and different strong emotions in those 3 seconds as well, right? And they do that with the editing. Now, this is a really good.
How 47 Skin helped me rediscover skin confidence.
4 seconds, and then it goes.
Growing up, I was
right. Amazing ad. Okay, right. Now they apply all of these things incredibly. If you're selling a different product, you want to think about who is your ideal, who is your ideal customer, who's your ideal client, and you want to get someone to record the person in the video actually recording the ad should match the audience, should match the audience that you're trying to sell to, or match who they're trying to who they're aspiring to be. So for example, let's say you're selling a fitness offer, right? If you're probably going to be marketing to people who are not fit, but that doesn't mean you should be someone who's unfit in the video, unless it's like a testimonial. But if you're actually speaking from a place of authority, you want to have the identity of who they want to be, right? Okay, so that's a quick caveat with what we're talking about in the avatar, right? So you want to think about what avatar you're going to use, what text overlay are you going to use, and how can you get it to spark curiosity or call out your target audience, the scene, right, that you're going to use, right? Let's say, again, with the fitness trainer example, maybe you probably want to record a video in a gym, right? Your music in the background, right? How it's going to fit the creative that you're going to make, right? Then the voiceover, right? What are you going to say in the beginning? So now if you're targeting to top of funnel audiences, so people who don't know who you want to use lots of stories and like secret type video ads, right? Because they can they work really well for broad, cold audiences. Okay. And then you have the editing, right? The editing, you want to have quick cuts in the beginning, right? Moving captions, everything to basically retain attention and create lots of novelty. So people have to pay attention because they don't actually know exactly what's coming next, right? People tend to tune out when they've had a pattern recognition, right? So this is why, when you're speaking, you want to have a different in tone, right? In tone when you're speaking as well, because it forces people to pay attention. People who are monotone and like boring, you kind of tune those people out because you figured out the pattern recognition, and then your brain doesn't have to consciously work anymore, and you just kind of ignore it. Okay, so you want their conscious, you want people to conscious, you want people paying attention to what you're saying. You want to keep people paying attention, right? Consciously, and the way you do that is by not having a pattern recognition, and so the people don't know what to expect next, and that forces them to pay attention. Okay, right. Now this is another ad over here by another great marketer too. And this is a completely different niche. This is selling a digital product, right? They're selling a digital product, and you could go.
So this might seem a little crazy, but
so let's just change this to 1. Okay.
So this might seem a little crazy, but
so you can see it uses a close up again of the face, like right at the camera, like this person's on FaceTime, right? Captures attention. It looks like he's just there in his home, right? Okay. That's calling out the scene. There's no specific text overlay. It's just the captions, right? And it's single word captions as well, which again does force you to pay attention, right? Because it's quick moving, right?
it might seem a little crazy.
And then the captions are coming in at different points. So that's kind of what they do with their text overlay, right? So that's them. And then let's pay attention to the first 3 beginning seconds of this video ad, right?
So this might seem a little crazy, but my business is making over $7,000 a day, and virtually nobody knows who I am.
Right? This might seem a little crazy, but
So this might seem a little.
You see how that sparks curiosity, and forces people to pay attention on what is going to say next, right?
Crazy, but my business is making over $7,000 a day, and virtually nobody knows who I am.
Right? Okay. and you got the edit.
So this might seem a little crazy, but my business
And then you can see there it kind of zooms in. It zooms in. And that's in the second
is making over 7,000
And then in the third second, it flicks. It cuts to another scene where it's showing a Stripe account worth $7,000.
$1,000 a day. And
So you can see how this is applied. The same principles are applied no matter what industry or no matter what industry or what product that you're selling, because it's just good principles to follow when you're creating highly effective video ads, right? Okay, now let's go. So that's how you hijack attention with your ad, and especially in the first three to 5 seconds, because this is the most important part of your ad, where you probably should be spending the most of your attention on, because this is how you grab people in the hook. If you got the hook down pat, then you have a good chance of the rest of your ad being being successful, right? Now the next thing is how to create messaging that converts. Well, when you think about creating messaging that converts, you need to understand two things. First, your audience deeply, and second, what stage of awareness that they are at. Now, this is how you sell to strangers. I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you're a business that wants to scale, right? So you want to have when you're speaking to cold audiences, right, you need to learn storytelling, storytelling and secrets. So you have these awareness phases, right? So people who don't know who you are, they might have a problem. They might have a problem, right? They might already be aware of the problem that they're dealing with, that your solution can help them with, right? The people who are truly cold are people who are literally they're not even aware that they have a problem, right? These are where the majority of people lie, and if you're able to crack these people, then your business can unlock pretty much unlimited scale. But there's also a huge amount of people that are already aware that they have a problem. So let's say you're a business owner, you're aware of the problem that maybe you've tried ads before, but you're aware of the high cost of ads or getting ads to convert for your business, right? So so I can speak to that pain and target you, right? I can speak to that pain and target you, but by targeting your problems and anxieties. So anxieties, you can interchange anxieties with just problems, right? So a good hook can be like, oh, if you're a business owner struggling to actually crack paid ads and make it profitable for your business, and it seems like paid ads are so expensive, you keep on spending money on them, but you're not actually seeing the return that you want. Boom. That's how you can speak to problem aware people. Okay. You can take this and you can take it into a product as well. Like let's say someone has acne. If you have acne and you've tried this and that, right? And then people who are solution aware are people who've had the problem and aware of different solutions for this problem, right? Maybe they tried fixing it with the different solutions that may or may have not worked for them, right? So claims and proofs. So the reason why you need to understand this is because your messaging and how you speak to people depends on the awareness stage that they are at. Now, if you're talking to cold audiences, you want to use stories, secrets, and talk about benefits and problems, basically, right? People are talking with solutions and you're comparing your solution with another solution that you want to use lead with claims and proof, right? If people are actually aware of your different products and they're shopping different products, then these are people that are lower down the awareness stages, basically. Well, higher, you could say. You get higher in the awareness stages. You want to maybe lead with discounts and deals to get them over the edge. So this is why a lot of retargeting ads give people an incentive to buy, because they're already aware, they already know, they've already seen the claims and proofs, they're already aware of the benefits. What can we do to push them over the line? So that's when you have your 10% discount for first buyers, right? For example. And then the most aware, they're probably the most price sensitive. So they're probably looking for just like the best deal, the best discount they already want to buy, right? So you can see how, depending on the different awareness stages, your messaging to these people has to change. Now, a good framework to follow when you're leading towards, if you're a business that wants to scale, you want to be focusing on these three areas: the problem aware, problem unaware, problem aware, and solution aware people, right? So a good framework to follow is your current reality. So you want to describe not your current reality, your customer's current reality. You want to describe their current reality in detail, right? This can be through you saying it specifically, or this can be, indirect, where you're sharing a story of someone who fits, who's very similar to them, right? That's what they did in the ad above, with 47 Skins ad. Okay. So when describe their current pains and problems, or share a relatable story that establishes rapport, right? So, for example, going back on the example that I used, let's say you're a small business owner and you haven't got ads to convert for you. I can call out the problems that you've been facing, right? So you've been dealing with spending so much money on ads, expensive, but not seeing the return that you want, right? You probably worked with multiple agencies that promised you the world, that promised you the world, but didn't really get any results, and it wasn't profitable, and you ended up having to pay for your advertising and cover the cost for the marketing fee, where they're not even making you profitable, right? By me really describing their current reality, they trust me, right? Because if once you show that you really understand someone and their problems, they trust you to that you may have a solution, right? Okay, so you can do that. You can describe the current reality, and that's what. So after this comes after the hook, right? And this is how you really dig into their pain or dig into their desires of what they really want, right? And this is what once you have their attention, this is what sparks their interest or sparks their desire by either putting them in more pain. So if you're in pain, guess what? You pay attention. If you also desire something a lot, guess what? Again, you also pay attention, right? And that's what you want to do. You want to, once you got the hook in the first 3 seconds. Once you capture the hook, you want to make sure that they keep watching to the end of the video. And the way you want to do that is tapping into their emotions, increasing the pain or desire. But because either one has the same end result, which they pay attention to, what, and that means they keep watching the video. Then next, you want to present your solution, right? You want to present your solution and why it's unique, right? Why it's different from your competitors, and why it's, it can work compared to, what they've tried in the past. And then the third thing, you talk about the benefits. Now you introduce your solution, you're going to talk about the benefits. Benefits, not features. Benefits is what they care about, how it's going to better their life. And you want to pay attention to first and second level thinking, right? So first level thinking is the direct benefits of your product or service. So let's say you have a make money offer, right? You have a make money offer. What's the direct benefits? They can make more money, maybe work from home and work less hours. Second level thinking thinks about the effects or the long-term consequences of those direct benefits, right? And this is where you tap into what people really want. This is where you tap into people's primal biological desires, right? Why do people want more money? Well, they want to make, many reasons, right? Many reasons, and these are different angles you can target with the ads. So one reason can be, they want financial security so that they're protected in the future, right? One can be they want care and provision for their loved ones. Who doesn't want care and provision for their loved ones, right? But this is what people really care about, and this is what you should be talking about in your benefits. So whatever feature that you link with your product, it needs to link back to what the customers, the ideal clients, actually care about. Okay, flexible at work hours, or work less, or working from home. Why do people want to work from home? Maybe they want to spend more time with their family, right? And have working less and still be able to make more money and work from home means they can spend more time with their family and watch their kids grow. Now you're tapping into what people really, really want. So you want to tie in whatever your specialized mechanism or service entails, and tie it back to what people actually care about, right? Tie it to what people actually care about and people's core desires. People already desire. People already desire wanting to care and protect for their loved ones, right? That's literally ingrained in almost every human. People want to watch, ideally anyway, they're good parents, want to watch their kids grow, right? These are desires they already deeply want, and you're tapping into that and using your product or offer and presenting it and framing it as a vehicle to help them get what they want, right? Then next you have your call to action. Your call to action, now you have their attention, you spark their desire. Now you want to lead them to where you want to go, and this is where you direct people to your website or whatever you want them to go. This could be a lead magnet, website, your Instagram, your YouTube, whatever, where you want them to go to the next stage on the customer process that leads them to buy in, right? So that's the core audience framework. And next is 3. So how do you create winning ads consistently? So you need to have you need to have consistently research and understand your audience better, right? So a good way you can do this is something called review mining. You can take your reviews of your product or service, what people are saying, or even just feedback from your sales calls. Let's say you're selling something high ticket, you're recording all the notes from the sales calls. You want to make sure the notes are actually based on the customer and not just what happened on the call, because that's very surface level. You want to make sure your notes are written about the actual customer, about the actual client, right? So you can do sales calls reviews, the feedback that you're getting from your type forms, right? Or whatever form or application form that you're using, or just literally reviews, and then you can put it into AI, for example, and get it to share the common themes of what people are saying, common objections, etc. And then what you can do is reverse engineer this to make messaging, right, and to make messaging to create into ads and marketing campaigns and content that you can use to create winning ads, right? Reversing engineering what you have your audience doing, right? Okay. Another thing is repeating what works, right? So if you have core messaging that works, that converts, right? Let's say the core message, right? Okay, so let's say people want flexible work hours to be able to spend more time with their family, for example. You want to actually, although you're making different ads, you want to create different, you want to have different messaging around the same core topic or the same core desire, right? So spending more time, are you missing time away from your family, right? Or maybe it can even be targeting different stages of where the kids are. Like, oh, do you want to spend more time with your teens, so you want to be more active for them? Let's say you're older person, right, and you're targeting older audiences, and it's starting to get a bit stiff, right? Or do you want the ability to start playing with your children or playing with your grandchildren if they're older audience, right? So it's still the same core message of spending more time with family, but you can dig deeper into the different stages of that as well. Are they at the stage where they want to be grandparents? What age demographics are they in? Do they have a newborn that they want to be there for, right? You can really go deeper into your core message and the core thing that's actually getting people to convert, right? Okay. And then targeting different angles, right? And targeting different angles. With different angles, what I mean when I say angles is the different reasons why people buy, right? And again, you want to make sure you're thinking of first level thinking and second level thinking. Why are people really buying, right? Yes, they want to make more money, but why do they want to make more money, right? And so making money very surface level. Now, why people want to make more money, but there are many reasons why people want to make more money. Like I mentioned, care and provision for loved ones, or financial security, or someone just wants to have actual freedom for more options, right? Okay, freedom, freedom to have more options. Oh, maybe they want more money so that they can invest into other business ideas. Maybe they want more money so that they can actually take on their dream of traveling around the world, right? You can see these are all different angles all completely different angles that I can make ads around. And you can make unlimited variations of these and find what converts and keep on digging into that, right? And then the next one is range of different customer avatars. So let's say you have a winning angle, you have a winning script or core message, right? You can make more winning ads by literally just switching the avatar that's in there, right? So let's just say an easy one can be race, right? So you got a white person in one, you got an Asian person, and you got a black person, right? And all of these, guess what? They're going to attract more of those types of people, even though it's still the same message. Just by switching the likeness and just by switching the likeness and the actual customer avatar, you still speak to different people and unlock different audiences that way. Right. So if you want to scale your ads with AI, right, what I do to create winning ads right now, you don't need to be an ad expert and you don't even need years of experience, right? Because I can show you how to use psychology, right, which AI can also give you, right? How to use psychology with AI to create winning ads literally in minutes for your business. Now, if you want to know how to use AI to help you create winning ads, then you just check out the link below. check out the link below in the description of this YouTube video. It'll go to a VSL that basically explains exactly how we can help you do that. This is for business owners who want to make more money, want to get more clients, want to get more customers using paid acquisition, right? And they don't want to rely on agencies, rely on freelancers and pay. Like, do you know how much freelancers cost? Like the good ones are at least like 5,000 a month. That's what people are, at least like 5,000 a month in a year. Businesses, just simply because they didn't know how to run ads and actually market their own business, are paying 60,000 to freelancers to help them do it, right? Now you can literally cut all of that spend by just simply understanding psychology and how to use AI to create winning ads for your business. So if you're interested in that, check the link below in the description. And if you found this video helpful, just leave a like and a comment as well. Okay, I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.